Welcome back to GEMS Podcast. I'm your host, Genesis Amaris Kemp, and with me I have a very special guest today. Her name is Shannon Monet, and here's a bit about Shannon. She's 15 years old. She is a teen speaker, a world changer, and a love carrier, and she is on a mission to be a light in dark places. Shannon is extremely focused and desires to make a positive impact on today's and the next generation. Shannon has found her value and purpose. She believes no one should be left alone or feel alone. She wants her story to help the lost find their identity. She believes everyone has their unique purpose and should work to walk in that purpose. There are many suffering from suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety, fear, and more. Her goal and purpose are to use her voice through social media, graphic design, and capturing visuals on YouTube. She is an incredible and undying love for people and wants to be the light in this very dark world. That is who Shannon Monet is. And without further ado, welcome Shannon Monet to GEMS Podcast.
Hello, Genesis. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So, incredible. You are 15 years old, a teenager. You are going through your own life journey and you're helping others do the same too. And today we're going to talk about depression and suicidal thoughts and really give not just your generation, but others to come some hope on how they can navigate. So let's talk about your journey of going through depression or what that looks like. And what are some of the things you wish somebody would have told you early on?
Well, I moved to this new school for fourth and fifth grade, and I was the new girl, and I was the only Black kid in my classroom. So it was a really hard adjustment for me because I left this old school where it was very diverse and I was welcomed. But in this new school, it was not very welcoming at all. And it was really one time where I thought I had friends, but I really didn't. And they ended up backstabbing me. So I went through a long process of that. And I was also being bullied a lot every single day. They made fun of my clothes, my outfit, the way I looked. And it was a very tough experience. And after that happened, it really began to weigh on me where I wanted to end my life. And it was one night on July 18th where I just was done. And I was 11 at the time. And I felt worthless. I didn't even like my skin complexion. I felt invisible and I felt that I wasn't important. And it was really at that moment where I started to doubt God. And I was even questioning, are you even real? And why'd you make me like this? Why'd you make me different? Why can't I be like everyone else? And I ended up crying in the bedroom. And my mother was in the other room just folding clothes. And I suddenly heard footsteps. So I dried my tears and made sure she didn't see that I was crying. And mind you, she never knew that I was going through bullying in my school. And she didn't even hear that I was crying, but she ended up praying for me. And I knew it was nothing but a God sent. And he ended up showing her me alone at the lunch table. So he gave her a vision basically of me alone at the lunch table. And I never even told her about it. So that night, that's when I really was free from those suicidal thoughts.
Wow. And I want to thank you so much for just being vulnerable as well as being transparent. And I could really relate to bullying. I was bullied in high school over 10 years ago, and it really does affect you mentally, physically, emotionally, as well as spiritually, especially growing up in a religious as well as a spiritual household. You lose your self identity because you're so busy listening to what external factors are saying, those external voices and the peer pressure of trying to really fit in and assimilate in a society where you really don't need other people validating if you are an asset and if you are really real. So I just really want to commend you because your story is really going to resonate with other people who have gone through bullying. And maybe some of those people, they never make it out because they don't feel like they have a safe space to talk to their mother, their father, or maybe someone that's really close to them. And the fact that you mentioned you never told your mother that you were facing bullying at school, why was that? Like, what held you back from speaking up and going to your mom?
Well, like a lot of teens, they don't want to burden their family members. They don't want to give them that pressure and they don't want to load it on them. And it was the same way. I feel like I can tell my mother anything, but at that time, I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell her this. I'm going to keep it to myself because I don't want to burden her and I don't want to tell her what I'm going through. So I really just put in a mask to make it seem like everything was all right.
Shannon, do you have siblings?
I have a little brother.
Do
He's
you
7. Yes.
do you feel that your little brother sensed that something was going on with you when you were going through your own struggles with bullying?
Well, at the time, he was very young, so he really couldn't tell either. And I did a really good job of hiding it. So I felt like I was basically acting.
Wow, and that definitely can be taxing because it's like you're one way at school, and when you get home, you have to be another way. Do you think whenever you got home, do you feel like that was also mentally exhausting because you had so much that you were um, going on at school during the day, and here you are at home, which home should be your place of peace and your sanctuary, but that was the area where you were letting out your emotional exhaustion.
Yes, I was very exhausted of keeping up a fake face. I was getting really tired. And it was very hard every single day to be like, okay, school was great. When in reality, no, it was not. It wasn't good at all. And it was really like a battle that I had to fight.
Mm, do you feel like, with you coming from a religious background, do you feel like you had to go through that spiritual warfare in order to find your grounding and remain steadfast?
Yes, I did. I felt like, sometimes people want to tear you down because they can see the potential that you carry and before you even see it yourself. So they want to tear you down with their words and so you can never make it to that purpose. And now that I look at myself today, I believe that they've seen that in me, that I'm going to go places. And I didn't even know it myself at the time, but now I know that why I was bullied and why I had to go through it because I was made for this and I was made to stand out. And I didn't go through this for myself, but for someone else to let them know that they can make it out of that tunnel and that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm. So it was a blessing in disguise
Yes, it
that
was.
God had you going through this journey because he knew that you were going to find that grit and have that resilience. So now you can help other young men and women who are being victims of bullying find their voice and get their confidence back so they can know that they are here for a reason and that this world needs them to, shine bright. So that's how you are taking that dark season that you went through and helping others via empowerment illuminate their light within and allow the light within to glow externally.
Yes.
So while you were growing up in your household, was it just your mother or did you have your father as well?
I had my father as well. Yes.
Okay. So how was the conversations between you and your mom versus you and your dad? Do you feel like maybe you could have talked to your dad about what was going on at school?
Yes, I could have. And then I also could talk to my mom because I knew she would also understand what I was going through. So I could talk to both, honestly.
And now looking at the level of success that you have at the young age of 15 and where you are currently, have you went back and confronted any of those bullies and are you still in school with any of them?
No, I am not. So I'm actually on online school now, and I'm not in that school anymore because that was middle school. So I'm out of it now, and I'm a sophomore now in high school. And anyway, uh, the funny thing is they actually started following me on Instagram. I forgave them, and I never actually confronted them. I forgave them for what they did, and yeah, so
Wow.
it's just amazing to me how they end up following me on Instagram.
Wow, and that's incredible. That's very commendable of you to forgive because a lot of people, my age included, I'm 30. I don't look 30, but I am. They never understand the power of forgiveness because they feel like, why should I forgive that person who victimized me? Whenever in reality, whenever you forgive somebody, you're forgiving them so you can move on, so you no longer have those strongholds mentally and physically burdening you down. The forgiveness is so you can let go of those emotional hurts, let go of the things that try to break you because you made it through. And I talked about the word breakthrough and how you could see two parts in that world. That word, you could see the breaking, but you could also see the through. Had you never went through the breaking, would you have ultimately made it through to the other side? So when you see breakthrough, don't just see the pessimistic part of it, but see the optimistic part and see how you could turn those trials into tribulations, the tests into testimonies, and your mess into a message. And what are some of the things that you have done to celebrate and commemorate no more suicidal thoughts, being free from depression, and really liberating who you are and how other people are now looking up to you?
Well, it's honestly mind-blowing. I don't even know how to process all this, honestly. I'm still processing everything, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually doing this and I'm actually helping other people, and it's amazing. I really don't know. My mind is really blown, honestly.
Are there any influencers that you really look up to, and why? Not just from a vanity standpoint, but from the standpoint that they are making a difference on the screen and off the screen, and you feel like you really connect with them.
Well, I look up to this one person. I can't think of her name, but she's a doctor and she helps a lot of people mentally and physically and spiritually. And I just think she's really amazing. And I just love her work.
Amazing. What about this doctor caused you to gravitate towards her?
Just the way, like how she talked about the mind, that really interested me. How she talked about also unforgiveness. I think I posted on my page. She talked about unforgiveness and how it affects the brain, how it affects you mentally and physically. And she's just really amazing.
Amazing. And one thing that I want you to really think about, if you're not already doing it, have you thought about starting a nonprofit for victims of bullying? And then you could also teach them different tools and methods to overcome suicidal thoughts and overcome depression.
I haven't thought of that, but I actually want to try that. That's a good idea, honestly.
And you could probably do it in collaboration because you mentioned that you have a little brother. So it would be cool to see someone who's younger than you. So you could have your little brother or someone else, then you doing the work that you're doing, and then maybe someone from a older perspective, and you could see the three different generations talking about how each one of them see what suicidal thoughts are, depression, what bullying is, or etc. And you could all kind of have it different levels of paradigm shifts to go out into the world to empower other people as well as educate.
I think that would be cool. That's a great idea. I like that. I'm going to use it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I definitely challenge you for that. And with you being a speaker now, when was your first speaking engagement, and how did it make you feel?
Well, my first one was in July. I don't remember the exact date. And it was called Speaking of Love. And my mind was really blown because I'm like, this is my first podcast and I can actually help somebody. And it all started from creating the Outcast, my video. And she ended up contacting me and like, can you be on my podcast? And I ended up going on there. And like I said, my mind is really blown. I say this every time, but it really is blown how far God has taken me.
And now let's talk about your video. I haven't had the chance to watch Outcast, so I want you to share with my listeners as well as the viewers on why you named it Outcast, what's in the video, and then at the end of the segment, all of the contact information will be there. Your contact information as well as how to link back to the video. But go ahead and walk us through so we could get a visual representation of what to look forward to.
Okay. So, well, the Outcast, what really started me to make the Outcast was it was God. And I was like, God, I really don't want to do it. but I really felt pulling on my heart, like, you better go and make that video. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do it. And I ended up making the video. And it's mainly about my story, like a brief 3 minutes of my story. And I have different visuals of it. And it's really interesting. Yes.
Wow. So you see that power struggle there. God is telling you, Shannon, you need to make the video, but then you don't want to do the video out of stubbornness, but something
Yes.
comes over you and compels you to make this video. And now this video is a gem, and it's also a blessing to people who watch it. Because how many of us have ever been an outcast? Whether you're an outcast at work, whether you're an outcast at school, or whether you feel like you're an outcast in society. And why do you feel like you should allow other people to validate and solidify who you are? Isn't it time for us to take ownership of who we are and see ourselves as a gem, see ourselves as an asset, and really know who we are? Because when you know who you are, you're not going to fall victim to what the world wants you to be, what your family members want you to be, what external voices want you to be, and what the world wants you to be, because you know who as well as whose you are. And for those of you who are believers like Shannon and I, you know that God created you as a masterpiece. So if he sees you as a masterpiece, why are you allowing counterfeits and other people to demean and devalue you?
100%. I love that. Good job. That was awesome.
So now I want to play a rapid fire game with you. I don't do it with all my guests, Shannon, but it's going to be to really get to know Shannon outside of what we talked about and just really have fun. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's going to be 10 questions.
Okay.
So number 1, favorite color?
I'll have to go with gold.
Gold. Okay.
Gold, rose gold. Yeah.
2, favorite movie?
The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman. Okay.
Yes.
I haven't seen that one. So what is it about?
Well, it's about like a circus, honestly, but it's different people that look different, but they're all together. It's hard to explain. But he also chases after his dream. After many not believing in him, he chases after that dream, and he still goes forth to do his dream. So he yeah.
So it has an underlying message.
Yes, you have to watch it to understand what I mean. But I love it. It's a musical, basically.
The Greatest Showman.
Yes.
Okay. 3, dream car.
I always wanted a Cadillac.
Ooh, okay.
A Cadillac. And then maybe a Bentley. Yeah.
So a Cadillac, do you want like a CTS coupe, the 4-door, a SUV?
I just want a Cadillac. I'm not good with cars like that. Like I don't know the names. Honestly. Okay. I just know I want a Cadillac.
Favorite song, that song that just gets you pumped up and moving.
Well, I love Lecrae.
Ooh, I love him too.
Yes, and there's I can't think of a specific one. I just love majority of his music, honestly. Anything will keep me hyped up, honestly. Listen to Lecrae. Yes.
I've actually seen him live when they did the 116 tour, when he went on tour with What Up RG, Tadashi, Tripoli, and some other ones. So it was pretty cool.
Yes, I love Lecrae.
5, favorite food?
Soul food. I love mac and cheese, yams, you name it. It's bomb. I love it. Yes.
6, favorite vacation spot and why?
I would have to say Florida. I just love the beach, and then of course Disneyland. I would go with Florida.
Florida. Okay, Florida over Cali, y'all. So she's repping Florida.
I haven't been to Cali yet, so I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. So you like Disney World?
Disney World. That's in Florida, right? Yeah,
Disney World. Yep.
I know Disneyland and then Disney World. So
yeah. Okay, 7. So if you had any superpower, what would it be and why?
Super speed, because I love the Flash. That's always been my favorite superhero. So I'm gonna go with super speed, because I just want to run real fast and do work real fast, and go with that. Yeah.
8, favorite book?
Well, I actually don't read a lot of books. I'm more of a TV watcher, or I'm a visual person. I can't do books. I can't. I can't.
Okay, so we could do a favorite TV show then.
Yes. My favorite TV show currently. Hmm. It would have to be Touched by Angels. Very old, but I
Oh
like it.
yes, with
Yes.
Delarice. What was it, Delarice?
Yes, Delarice. I like the old stuff. Yes.
Oh, she's an old soul, y'all.
Yes.
I'm surprised I even knew that show. I guess I only knew it from my parents.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Hey, are you are you an Apple or Android user?
Apple. Look, I'm Apple right here. Apple. You can't see it,
Okay.
but yeah, Apple. For sure.
I'm team Android for my phone, but team Mac for my computer.
Okay. So you're both.
Yeah. Okay. So, pet. Are you a cat person, a dog person, bird, or fish?
I love birds because I have two of my own actually. I love birds. And then also dogs because they're really cute.
Okay. See,
I can't do cats. No. No, no.
I was not expecting you to say bird, but I threw that in just to see. Okay.
Yes.
Then coffee or tea or neither?
Tea because I can't drink coffee yet, I guess. I mean, I do drink coffee sometimes, but I'll go with tea because I like matcha tea.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Like Starbucks matcha tea or just regular
Yes.
matcha? Okay.
Yes. I like frozen. I can't get with the hot one yet, but I like frozen.
Okay. The Frappuccino matcha?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
We can hang. We can hang.
Yes.
And then 10. This is our bonus question where you
Okay.
could either pass or play. So, do you want to pass or do you want to play?
I'll play.
Okay. So, the play is you could ask me any question you want to know about me, the host. So, you put me in the hot seat now.
Okay. What is your favorite food? I'm curious. And favorite
Ooh.
restaurant too.
Okay. So my favorite restaurant is based here locally in Houston. My husband and I like Texas de Brazil. It's a Brazilian steakhouse.
I've heard of that.
And
Yes.
favorite food, I love pizza. And the reason why I love pizza is because there's so many different variations that I like. And I am a Papa John's person, but I'm also a mod pizza person. And then recently, when we went to visit our other friends that are couples, they had, what is it, Mr. Gaddy's pizza. And that was pretty good. I was like, this is pretty tasty.
Are you a Hawaiian pizza fan?
I love Hawaiian pizza.
Okay.
I love like the Canadian bacon. It can't be too thick. It has to be thin. I have to have enough pineapples and do not put on a whole bunch of sauce on my pizza where it's drowning out the taste.
Oh, no.
I need it to be balanced.
I understand.
And I am hands down a foodie, y'all. And I think I'm a foodie because I'm biased because my husband is a chef by trade. So I love to eat.
I love to eat too. I'm a foodie for sure. I mean, ever since I was little, I used to say eat because I love to eat. And yeah, I eat everything except bananas. Can't do it.
What? I
No.
love bananas.
No, not the banana. No.
They help me out because y'all, I'm older. So when you get older, certain things in your body just don't function like Shannon's body because she's 15. And when I run or jog, like sometimes I get cramps in my legs and my feet. So that banana, that potassium helps me keep going, y'all.
Oh,
So Shannon, now as we wind down, I want you to give the listeners as well as the viewers your call to action. If they don't remember anything that we talked about regarding suicidal thoughts, depression, overcoming bullying, what would you like them to hold on to?
well, I just want you to know that you have a purpose and that you are important no matter what anyone says about you. You have a purpose. You're beautiful. You're great. And I just encourage you to keep going. If you're in a down space, keep going. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what the thoughts in your mind say. Keep persevering and keep going. You're not alone.
Beautifully said. And how can they connect with you on social media? And do you have your own website?
Yes, I do. ShannonMonet.com. And then you also can find me on Instagram and Twitter. It's the same username, Shannon Monet underscore. And then I'm also on TikTok. So Shannon Monet underscore as well. And then lastly, you can find me on Facebook, which is Shannon Monet page.
Amazing. And there you have it, listeners and viewers of GEMS podcast. You just heard Shannon Monet. All of her contact information will be in the show notes, as well as a link to her The Outcast video. So you could learn a little bit more about what she's doing behind the scenes as well as on the scenes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to GEMS Podcast on all major platforms. And you could also follow us on YouTube at GEMS with Genesis Amaris Kemp for all video content. Remember, you are an asset, not a liability. You are a masterpiece, and there's only one you. So stop living in the shadows of other people. You weren't created to be a carbon copy. You were uniquely created to shine and to really walk out your destiny, enlighten others by solidifying your purpose, and really drive the mission forward. So until we chat next time, peace, love, and lots of blessings. Have yourself an amazing day.